But listen, so I wanted to do this from time ago, yeah, but situations and circumstances or whatever. And I don't think that there's ever a time that it's too late to do this.
No rules.
But yeah, there's no rules. I wanted to kind of go through the decade, yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, to be clear, it's impossible to cover everything. It's impossible to cover everything, yeah.
So
but one of the reasons why...
Leave a comment on what we have missed.
Yeah, leave a comment on what we have missed and just talk about it. Let us know how you feel about that thing that we've missed or whatever. But like one of the reasons why I feel like it's so sick to do this time around is because the difference between how things was 10 years ago and how it is now is the changes are so mad, bro.
Tupac told you time ago.
What do you mean?
Changes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
These jokes are bad jokes. Come on, cuz.
But yeah, so like some of them, like bro, and you know me, I'm a man, I love to reminisce as well. I like talking about things from early on and like just looking at how things move from there. So like I got artists, I got things and all of that, yeah. But the first thing I actually wanted to bring up was a thing. And it was Instagram. The reason why I felt like we had to talk about Instagram, yeah, I joined Instagram in 2011. And I remember being in Lucky 7 in Labrador Grove, yeah, which was like it's like an American diner, yeah, you get burgers and all of them type of thing then. I was with my brethren, Mr. Hooley. And he was like, do you know about Instagram? Have you heard about Instagram? I'm like, nah, what is that? And he was like, oh, it's just some app where you just like post your pictures and all that type of shit. It's like Twitter, but it's like a pictures version or whatever. So I was like, what? Jumped on that straight away. Bro, what Instagram has done from then on, from 2011, 10-ish, because people were probably on it from around there, to now, and how it's changed.
It's not Instagram. It's the people. What the people have done to Instagram.
Yeah, that's true.
The people have the power. Instagram doesn't exist without the people.
That's true. It's great. Do you remember when you first jumped on it?
Just got the job at Copper 90.
Oh, is it?
With Vuj. And Vuj said to me, oh, have you seen Instagram? I'm like, yeah, loads of people. But I'm a very rebellious person at heart. If everyone's going right, even if I want to go right, Chucky,
I'm not on it.
I'm just going left. Let me go and find out why everyone's not going down there. So I have more information on why I should go down there. And I saw it, but it was predominantly for photographers. Yeah. So I just said to myself, I wasn't really into aesthetically pleasing pictures. I probably just want to talk to girls. So I didn't really care until I saw some girls. Yeah. And I was like, what? Is this what's going on over here? You mean I can see a girl, what she's done today, or what she's doing during the week, and I could just jump in the gram and now, it's not like chirps in a gal where you got to have this long conversation, find out what she likes. You mean I can see if we're into the same things, and that determines whether I'm in. Because now we've cut out a part of the journey that I don't want to have. Yeah. Hello, what's your name? How are you? How old are you? What do you do? I can just see it on your gram, and now I'll decide if me want to be there. Yeah. Amazing. What's over there? It
went from photographers to then enough people just being like, right, what? You can check man on there? You can check gal on there?
You know,
you can see what? And like,
Instagram, I got a girlfriend in a month.
Did you?
2 months.
Oh, mad.
I had a girlfriend because of Instagram.
Serious?
Or not because of me it ruined. Fam, it ruined me.
Yeah, that's the next thing as well. Is that like with the numbers and that, when you got clout on Instagram as well, then you like, I don't know, you like a girl's picture or whatever, she sees how much flipping followers you got, and then it makes conversation easier.
It doesn't, it makes it harder for me now though.
Why? You got what? Like over 100k?
So I don't even know why people are talking to me.
177,000.
177,000.
Yeah, but you need to see my DMs now. My DMs are full of.
And it's easy.
Your DMs must be. My DMs are nuts. Your DMs must be crazy.
I'm talking. Some days you get your dumb nigga.
Oh really?
I can show you one right now. Some you get not. Some you get. It's because of the issues I talk about. So I always talk about empowering the working class man. Like I done it on one of the last episode, and a lot of people don't like it because if I'm saying, like one episode I was like, why are you wearing a suit? Like a suit is to suit a narrative. But if there's a 16-year-old kid and his dad wears a suit, I'm just cussing his dad, innit?
Yeah.
So now he's got mad at me. And I can't even get upset at him because I didn't mean to cuss your dad, but so I wasn't even cussing your dad. I was just saying that in general. So I get a lot of messages off the back of information that I may share, and people are a bit maybe too young to understand what I'm saying, or I'm not clear enough. Then you'll get girls who, oh, that's so funny, oh, your kids are so cute. If they've looked on my gram and they said, what's the thing that poet's going to react to? And I react to all of them, but I already know why you've done it. So now it's just about what role do I give you in my life?
Yeah.
You might just be the person that crops every 2 months. Or you might just want something, I don't provide it, so you go to the next. Whatever, I'm going to be comfortable with it. Then, Chucky, you've got the, clothes, yo, bro, I'm thinking, what, if I give you a t-shirt and then...
You post my thing for me. Yeah.
And I'm just like, but... If I said to
you,
you
are the
you
last
work in
person
Marks
to
and
say that.
Spencer's, go turn up Marks and Spencer's for free. But the good thing is Marks and Spencer's have got a new range that you can wear, just you, out of everyone in the country, but we're not going to pay you. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you would turn up and not get your £7 or £8 an hour just so you can wear an exclusive Marks and Spencer's bit of gear. It doesn't make sense to me. So don't message me that, please. I'm not interested. If you want to work with me, I require a fee. If you don't want to pay the fee, let's have a conversation and see how it can work. But it's not just going to be, I give you a post. I don't see the value in that. Just semantics. I don't see the value in that. So, and there's more messages. I can just give you my phone right
people
now.
got your kids in that. I remember you saying one time.
That was a period. That was bad.
Is it, yeah?
But it's banter, though.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fucking hell, man.
It's banter, though, really.
That's where, that's where Instagram, look where it went, innit? It's mad. It's like people then turn it into some next thing and then...
But that's lit. That's lit, Chucky. You need bad things in life.
It's true.
Otherwise, you don't have Top Boy. And Top Boy is single-handedly the best thing that's ever happened to me. This is my plug to get into Series 3. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. Instagram anyway, like obviously I remember there's bare things on that, like just how that ended up changing as well. People,
What's the weirdest
there was like...
you had?
What's
the weirdest DM you've had on Instagram? The one that's not the baddest or just the weirdest DM you've seen, like, raw.
The weirdest one? I don't know, bro. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, you know. I don't really get too much weird...
What? You get people
Instagram.
asking you questions about...
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, I get a lot of... probably one of the weirdest ones I got is one that I sent in the group, but I don't know if I can find it, but people just sending me
I'll look now.
What? Yeah, like one about... What was it? There was one girl who... She had a threesome with a... Like, she was seeing one guy, then she had a threesome with the guy and his brethren, yeah? But then she liked the brethren. So then she was... wanted to go and now get some...
Wait.
Huh?
A threesome doesn't involve a girl or two guys. I just thought I'd make that...
That's a battery. Yeah, so she got batteried. And then... So then obviously she must have liked the D from the brethren, and then before you know it now she's in a sticky situation because she wants to go and check the brethren. Like, what do I do? I get them type of messages.
Do you know what I would say?
What's that?
You should come to my house, we should talk about it.
Nah, bro. But do you know what? Sometimes what they do is they create new profiles. So they don't they may not message from their personal profile. They'll create like a whole new thing so they could so they could say it and be free or whatever, which is cool. Sometimes I'll get like a 12-year-old telling me, "Oh, you know what? Like I'm really inspired by what you do, and I'm lost in life, and I feel like I don't know what I want to do." And I'm like, "My G, you're 12."
Yeah, I just saw that one now.
Like you're 12, bro.
Do you know
you shouldn't even be watching this podcast.
Do you know what I say? A lot of people, when they hit me up like, "Poet, I need advice." I'm like, just make sure when you go to bed, you're really happy with your day. That's the best advice I can give you. I don't know enough about you to give you a path. But if you're not happy, like genuinely happy, just call it a day. If your happiness lies in someone else being happy for you to be happy, just forget about it. You'll end up mentally ill like me.
But yeah, anyway, Instagram's just changed. Well, people have changed Instagram and ended up changing their whole life. Now you got people that are fucking, I feel like pictures on Instagram have literally raised the profile in people getting their lips done and their nose done and surgery, and people are just not looking like human beings these days. It's fucking nuts.
It's put people under too much pressure. You know, like for example, I didn't go central London when I was younger, so I didn't have much money. So the pressure of knowing that everyone's buying something and I'm not is just long. But you mean I can wake up in the morning and I know I don't look great, and then go to Instagram and just see a bag of people looking amazing. Like, I just don't need that pressure in my life. True. And some people unfortunately have it, and then they get their lips.
It's crazy.
Like you said, and it's sad, boy. All of that type of pressure is sad. Even I think Instagram though is giving a lot of people careers.
100%.
Models.
Yes.
Do you know how many models we have now?
Yeah.
Too many
Instagram.
fucking.
Do you know how many girls?
No, but there's some good there's some good models, man.
That.
But Callum, you know I'm being.
And also, do you know what? Sorry, go on.
And also, there's loads of people now that can put in their bio, Dubai, LA.
Oh, yeah.
And they live everywhere. I've got to check what you're going to say, Kaz.
But nah, you know what it does as well, is that like it's help for people to get jobs and stuff like that because they can showcase a skill. So if you could showcase a skill, let's just say, for example, off the top of my head, like you're on a football pitch and you're good at doing skills. So you're good at hitting the crossbar, you're good at fucking kick-ups and doing all of these different things and that. And then a brand sees it. Next minute, you know, now Adidas wants you to come and do some things. I'm sure that's probably one of the ways that them freestylers, what's their names?
F2.
Yeah. That probably is one of the main reasons why they bust through doing stuff like that.
YouTube
so yeah,
really killed
or
YouTube as well.
But do you know what? Is there's so much people that like shout out Steve-O, he's done it more on Snapchat, but like just the way he uses that part of social media. Harry Pinero jumping from the staircase, creating that narrative. Spuds, absolutely incredible content. Whether he's driving in a car and he pulls the window down and does some type of game show, he does it in the lift. Like people are using Instagram in the most creative ways in order to create
comedians.
Careers. Like even fucking people like Damn Shack's a DJ, he will just do like really good things on Instagram that
it makes you want to book him. You want to book. You think, you know what? Yeah, like what is he about? Like, is he good? Let me book him.
But even you, I can't wait for you to be talking something and then just go anyway, and then you'll just have videos of what you're watching, what you watch, and I'm just like, do you know what? What's Chucky? This is how I operate. I wonder what Chucky's watching this week. Yeah. And then as soon as you do it, like,
boom. One thing that started 10 years ago was Fire in the Booth. You know that?
No.
10 years?
Fire in the Booth.
Wow.
Yeah, 2010, late 2010, maybe 2011. The first one was a guy called Maestro. Maestro was like one of the early UK kind of, I don't want to say founders, but he was like a good freestyler. You used to see him at Jump Off a lot sometimes. And like he was like one of the traditional UK rappers. Had that traditional sound in it. And like I know that Charlie Sloth was like proper into that as well. His second one was Black the Ripper. So it was that sort of style. Yeah. You
see Charlie, he's been out here.
Think about, bro.
He's been out here.
Charlie went from doing the character stuff, like literally like being a character and like being Charlie the manager, Charlie this, Charlie that. Then unveiled being Charlie the DJ and ended up taking it to a complete... But forget just the DJ thing. The Fire in the Booth feature that he come up with has been like one of the biggest things in our scene in terms of like being in front of a microphone and expressing your skill.
When's the K-Coke one come out?
The K-Coke one was 2011. Just Google that. 2011, 2012, I think. That was like the first classic. Now, that is a classic.
Classic. Absolute. And I think that is a good demonstration to people. Obviously, it's a different era. It's a good demonstration to people that...
2011.
Yeah, so if you do one YouTube video, it doesn't bang, or you do two, it doesn't bang. Remember, your Charlie Sloth had to do it for 1 year before he got to the K-Coke moment.
K-Coke, bro. K-Coke went in with bare energy. If you ain't seen it, go on YouTube right now and go and find it. Fire in the Booth, K-Coke, yeah. He goes in the booth and
15 million views.
How much?
15
million. Flipping hell, bro. Jesus. The energy in that room just felt like it was mad.
In the jean suit?
Yeah.
Listen, my brother. Over Lil Wayne, Robin Thicke, Tie My Hands. Yeah. Nah, fuck off, man.
K-Coke was, bro, it was hard. There's a few classics on there as well. There's like The Wretch and Avellino. That's quite a recent one.
Oh my God, yeah. That was 4 years ago.
Nines' first one, that was like 8 years ago. That has to be about 8 years ago.
Nines' one is incredible.
Kano did a recent one where he spat for like 12 minutes in one take, you know. Kano spat for 12 minutes in like one take. I remember Charlie saying, Charlie was like, rah, like he did that in one take, you know. Like literally in one take. One of my favourites, in fact, was Fecky's. Please, let me play you this. It? Let me play you the end of this.
When Fecky got deep, my belly... I messaged him like, Fecky, how you getting deep like this? Nah, I don't want to make jokes with Fecky. His arms are too big, fam. I ain't getting beat up.
Do you know Fecky, what, yeah?
I'm sorry. I didn't know he had that sensitive side because I'm listening to this thing. I'm like, Fecky, just give me the gangster stuff.
Watch how cruddy he was on this, though.
He went mad.
I must have played this 100 times, bro. Wait.
Start feeling good about money.
Fucking YouTube and everything.
Adverts are ruining stuff, you know. Sure. I don't want to see them adverts.
For another advert, bro. What the hell?
Dude, you ain't got no premium.
Huh?
The premium.
What's the premium thing?
Oh, you can pay YouTube.
What
Premium
are you?
and no adverts.
So hold on, wait. See when YouTube send that thing of like signing up to. Have you signed up to that?
The premium.
I thought nobody signed up to that.
What do you mean, dog?
Right, listen.
Preem. I ain't signed up, lad.
Wait.
Yeah,
let me go to
neither have I,
it.
Bluetooth spot, bro. My guy.
Wait.
Debating it though.
But I can't lie to you.
What? So you what? Bang. Yeah. Brand new coupe. Tomato soup. Ring. Show me the ting. And when he show me the ting, show you the ting. You just got jack cars, it ain't a big thing. Run back the ting. What do you mean? Would you run back the ting?
Play the whole
Boogie
thing,
Woogie with Stacey and Kim. Hey.
Fam.
And you know, like, he's in the booth and he's
Doing bare stuff. You see Fecky? Love him. What a character.
classic.
But Wretch's bar is the best thing to ever touch fire in the booth.
Yeah.
Wretch's bar with Avellino is the best. And do you know what? If I've ever got a problem with Charlie Sloth, is that he wheeled my man up.
Is that he what?
He wheeled my man up.
He willed him up. You should have just let him
You
go.
should just let him go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just let him go.
There's certain people you have to just let
him go.
Yeah.
Because they have this moment.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I get what you mean.
Just let him go. So there are some people, I want to wheel them up here, but you know what the killer is? It's not the environment. When you're in a rave and you feel that energy, and if you don't stop, this club is getting locked off, wheel it, and it's mad.
Yeah.
But in fire in the booth,
Just leave it be.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
just leave.
He was proper in the zone, innit?
He was fuming.
Like he was.
I Wretch long enough. I know Wretch long enough to know. I looked at his face and I said, "He's not happy."
Had
He's
to
not
go
happy
through again.
Do you know what? Another piece. Are you moving on?
No, not moving on.
Oh, stay here then. We move on. I'll say one thing.
Go on.
It's funny.
Oh, we staying here.
Are you staying with?
Yeah, quick. I'm
Fire in the
staying.
Booth?
I'm staying with Fire in the Booth.
Yeah, let's stay. We go to move on because it's a bit.
Oh, cool. Michael Dapaah.
Oh
my gosh.
my God!
You can't talk about Fire in the Booth and not talk about what that Fire in the Booth did for Michael Dapaah. Fucking hell, bro.
Well done, Michael.
I remember listening to that thinking, you know what? This actually bangs. like this actually bangs.
To be honest with you, when I saw it, and this is no respect to Michael Dapaah, it was very long.
Yeah.
So, I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch it. Then my little cousin said to me, "Have you seen Michael Dapaah's Fire in the Booth?" I was like, "Yeah, but he's just mucking about, isn't it? Like, this Michael Dapaah does. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're a Michael Dapaah fan, you'll love that." He goes, "Poet, no, watch this part here." So he sent me the timestamps. I just went mad.
Yeah.
I said, "This is a banger." But I just thought it's one of those things that when I'm ready to hear it, I have to go back there.
Yeah.
Not Michael Dapaah and his team.
They said, what? Now we can do something with this.
We can do something with this.
We could do... Because it's... Do you know what it was? It's how he caught the drop. It's the way that he caught the drop. That changed everything. If he didn't catch the drop like that, maybe it wouldn't have been the same. But he caught the drop.
Because it was also...
And he had something so catchy.
What?
You couldn't deny it.
I think it was just an authentic... Do you know what it looked like? It looked like a moment that kind of happened by accident. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it looked like it kind of happened by accident.
Yeah.
But there was no other way that magic could have been made.
Yeah.
And I think the team of Michael Dapaah and Michael Dapaah deserve fucking props for what they've done with that moment.
Yeah.
Because we've had moments and done nothing with it.
Yeah.
We've had moments and just left it. And that's prime example. You could do something for a long period of time, but once you get that little elevated moment, do something with it.
1,000,000%.
Do something with it.
Other little things where they had like the Fire in the Booth ciphers and stuff like that,
Drake?
which was good. They're Drake, but
Oh yeah, the ciphers.
but there's one that kind of moves onto a segue, and I don't know if I want to do that because I know that you've got something to say.
Oh, just quickly, it's nothing that big.
Go on.
My brother phoned me today and told me it's 10 years since Poets Corner.
Oh, great! Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Here we go. I got you.
Oh, that's wicked.
Chip. Chip's got a couple of classics Fire in the Booth for me. One is the one where he went
You
at
know what
Tiny.
the one is.
It was the first one where he went at Tiny. I mean, I remembered that. I remember that being amped up as a big thing before it even happened. Like Charlie was like, listen, I think everyone, because it was obviously pre-recorded or whatever, and he was like, listen, everyone needs to hear this.
He was right.
And what it did was, this was Tiny, I mean, Chip was going at Tiny. They obviously had this thing, and they had a thing from before. Like, you know, it's like, I don't know how true some of this stuff was, but from behind the scenes, there was always this conversation about there being some tension between the two of them, yeah? And Chip showed his, and I'm petty as well, Chip showed his petty levels, because I'll tell you how he showed his petty levels. He went and did that fire in the booth a year to the exact day.
It wasn't petty though, I'll tell you why.
But I love that.
I mean, I loved it, but you know why I rated him? Because his whole thing was, if I come out now, it just looks like, because no one's going to understand.
That's true.
Let me let this thing marinate. Chip is one of the smartest youths I know. Them man don't just act. Or if they do act, they've already thought about the possibility of just acting.
Yeah.
So he waited, and if you take a look at what that situation become,
yeah.
Chip is a fucking genius. Remember, he's been working with Wiley for how long?
Yeah.
The man have taken on the minerals and made the chip. Oh, Chip's
he went there a year to the exact day and was like, you know what? He like, you could see he was like, you actually tried it, and you actually thought that I didn't hear what you said. You thought that I didn't hear, innit? I left it a whole year. I made it, yeah. So I came now, and then, do you know what as well? That was like, we weren't proper podcasting then, but I was just talking to myself. And I remember like, that was another moment. That was another moment where it's like, it was such a big moment, bruv. I had to just turn the microphone and just talk. Because I was like, fucking, this is mad, like what's happening. Like,
did you feel like a Dot Rotten meme?
I feel like a Dot Rotten meme. What? And yeah, I was in there. Where's everyone? I was on my microphone by myself. But nah, like that ended up being because then them two ended up having like a legendary clash,
bro. Actually, I wouldn't say a legendary clash, but I'll say a legendary moment.
Well, a legendary moment. Yeah, it wasn't a
Clash
legendary clash.
required some songs, and the only thing Tiny said was the potato head or something like that.
He made a song. Didn't he do 2?
I don't know.
He did 2, but Chip just like hit him with so much bombs. It was like, it got to a point where it was like,
There's no point. Like, you know what? Even Jay-Z lost to Nas. So even if some people are better musicians than you, whatever, just don't clash Chip. There's just no point.
And
lose.
And then Bugsy firing the booth, going at Chip, and then that ended up being massive for Bugsy. I mean, them two ended up going. Bugsy lost. Bugsy lost that. He lost that clash. But what it did for exactly. But what it ended up doing for him, because the thing is, Bugsy's still good, and he was still like, he was doing something for his city, and he was holding it up. It's not like he was getting absolutely battered, but it was kind of like, who's this guy? And why is he going at Chip?
He bullied his way. He went Tottenham High Road and shot a video.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was dangerous, though. That was dangerous, bro. That was dangerous.
Listen, you don't have to tell me.
That could have, you know what? That looking back at that is it's a moment in it, but that could have went horribly wrong for them, man.
I'm glad they did it because it's led the point to where he proposed to his missus the other day, and
of course.
Do you know how gassed I was? Do you know how emotional I was? I jumped in his DMs.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was too emotional. Like I didn't see no black people proposing when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So like just to see that, I was like, what the fuck? So them moments, and it's all testament and contributions from Charlie Sloth. You begin to
100%.
really take in what Charlie's contributed. Like
amazing.
That platform has allowed people to acknowledge their power, and then they've gone, what do I do with this? And Chip's done such amazing things with it. Where I remember at the time when Chip went Charlie Sloth, he didn't look like he was in the greatest place in his life, and now I watch Chip do Sparko, and I'm playing Sparko every single day, and I can look at...
I don't think he was in the greatest place when he went at Tiny. When I watched it today.
I don't think he was at the greatest place, but now he looks amazing.
Yeah,
he
of course.
Really
he looks happy.
He looks so, and that makes me. And maybe he had to do that.
Growth.
Maybe he had to do the Charlie Sloth moment
to
get to this point to be really happy, and I'm really happy he's happy.
Yeah, definitely. And just going on to Bugsy as well. Yeah, I don't know him, but I had a good conversation with him, a long conversation with him, and a long conversation after we recorded. Like, we spoke for a good 45 minutes afterwards, and like, he's a good brother, you know.
Very good
brother, man. And he's a very smart, he's very in tuned.
Do you know what I'll say about him, without knowing much about him as well? He's very responsible.
Yeah.
I like people that are responsible. I like when a man's in a clash and he's like, I'll come Tottenham. That's a responsibility he's taking on. I want to do this. I like when a man goes, I'm putting on for Manny. That's a responsibility.
Yeah.
I like when a man puts himself in a position financially. That's a responsibility.
Yeah.
Or with his woman, publicly. That's a responsibility. You see people like that, I can learn so much from them.
Definitely.
Like, so much.
Also, one other thing quickly. Chip, one of his last fire in the booths, I think it might have been his last fire in the booth, where it was like during the Bugsy thing. I remember him going there, and he had this thing against Charlie because he felt like Charlie had taken a side or put a battery in Bugsy's back, and he did a fire in the booth, basically getting at Charlie, like calling him an agent and that.
How awkward was that for you? How awkward was that for you though?
For me watching it?
Yeah.
It was awkward because I felt the tension in the room.
Oh, it was very awkward for me.
It felt, I could feel the tension in the room, but I could also, I like it when, regardless of the space, I mean, obviously, I never want to see a man in a bad space or whatever it is, yeah. But at this point here, I was looking at Chip and I felt like he was at a place where he was almost coming to peace with things, understanding kind of what's going on, how things are moving or whatever. Yeah. And on top of that, man have tried to rub me out, and you can't rub me out because I'm too good. But there's tension in here now because me and you used to be cool. I don't really love you right now so much, but I need to get something off my chest. And I am a fan of when artists put their feelings and pain or whatever it is into their music. Because you know what, for a person like me who likes to look at things from not from a surface level, but from a deeper understanding of things and looking at it from there, yeah. Whenever I get the opportunity to then sit down and have a conversation, I like to ask questions about how you actually felt and what this lyric actually really meant to you. Because I'm a fan, so I want to know how you actually felt. And I'm a fan of people too. Do you get me? So it's like, talk me through that so I can understand it even more. So when I go back and I watch it, I'm watching it again now with a whole new perspective. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's almost like a fresh watch. Because you've like watched it once with what you think, that you've got this new information.
All right.
Let me see where I can apply that. Oh, there and there. Do you know what? Honestly, that's one of my favourite fire in the booths. For the simple fact that I was very honest.
Yeah.
And Chip was just letting him know, I'm aware of what you're doing. And testament to Charlie for putting it out.
Definitely.
Not putting it out. I love the fact that Charlie said, fuck it, let me put it out and see what I go on.
Yeah.
I just love all those really honest moments between people, and long may it live, man. Long may it, as long as no one gets hurt.
Yeah,
I am all up for a bit of an awkward conversation. Who cares?
And quickly just staying on Chip in a decade. I know he's been in the game for longer than a decade, but Transition came out 2011, and that was, I remember he had the song with Chris Brown where Chris Brown it was flames for Chris Brown. Man wasn't really trying, people weren't really trying to stand next to Chris Brown too much. Remember? Because obviously the whole situation between him and Rihanna and whatnot. If I remember rightly, like Chris Brown was a little quiet a little bit them times there because it was flames. But Chip was working with him. And like when you look at Chip in the last decade, like just the people that he's worked with people super early, bro. Super
Trey
early in their
Songz.
career. Trey, Kerry Hilson, she's a writer now more so, you know, and then the Bashment catalogue that he's got with Movado, Dreddy, he's worked with flipping Stylo, Cranium, iOctane. I can't even think of them all, but he's actually got a decent Bashment catalogue too.
Decent, very good. If I had one of them tunes in
Meek
that Bashment
as well.
catalogue, I'm Elephant Man in
That's
my
not
eyes.
Bashment, but you know what I mean.
No, I hear you, but like just Chip. I liked when Chip done that because Chip, man, he's growing up in an area where, you know what I'm saying, Jamaicans are prominent, and he's a little yard man really at heart, so he needed to do them little tunes, so them big tunes, sorry, apologies for my word. But yeah,
you know
man,
what I mean.
I'm happy. I can say after this 10 years, I think this has been a difficult 10 years as a consumer of Chip, because you just want to see Chip happy.
Yeah.
But if this is the journey he had to take to make Sparkle, long may it live.
Yeah,
dog.
definitely. One of my I got two favourite projects from Chip. One was London, but I like that, to be honest. When he went over there and was obviously trying to just flex that other side of him a bit. I did like that.
Did you listen to Phenomenon on that project?
What's that?
He started spitting over Phenomenon by L. Cool
Oh
J.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
He said the shot for Tiny for no reason.
Wait a minute. I think I've got that here, you know.
You know, if Chip was a stand-up comedian, he'd be like Slim, just rude, rugged, and honest.
Yeah.
The boy is. Why are you so funny, Chip? Why?
I wonder if he was like a proper pain in the ass when he was a young buck. Like, wait, hold on one
You
second.
niggas ain't fucking with me. I'm a nun. Wait. How did it go again? I hate when you hear music and you can only remember it when it's on. Phenomenon. Nope. That's a banger though, with Delilah. Nope.
Bro, I remember he was working with Swizzy early, you know. Do you know, I'm not going to play any of these because I don't know if I've got the whole...
Phenomenon, you ain't got Phenomenon.
Oh, wait.
This was my shit.
He had Iggy on there. He had Meat.
No. There it is, right there.
Oh, yeah.
This is fucking rude, boy.
Cool.
Hey, yo, Dots, what's up? I met this posh chick in district. She was on the east.
Said she couldn't like it, but she couldn't stand me.
20 man deep.
Stinking of green.
Pull up on the red carpet.
Stinking of green.
You wanna test me?
Come, you niggas ain't fucking with me. I'm a nun.
My wrist game be a
Fusing one, come on. But my wrist dumb, I'm an educated nigga. Can you say the same?
A's in class.
Never sold class A.
Niggas with degrees still can't get a job if keys open doors.
What's the price on the box?
I'll fund it for my niggas.
Now I'm talking bad.
Northside niggas still
Cool in my state.
And I be doing shit that my city never seen. Worth the biggest all a dream. Now I'm
Bro, he raps so well, innit? He raps so well, bro.
What an amazing
He had Skepta on it as well.
rapper.
Yeah, he held it again. He held it with Meek. Oh, shit, why am I closing this?
Shit, man.
Yeah, bro.
I really
Chip,
love you, man.
Yeah, man. What he's done, salute to him still.
And do you know what? He's made, and any mistakes he may have made and any mad moments he's had, is this boy even 30 years old yet?
No.
This is why I'm
Bruv,
saying
he's
we
had
have
over
to
a year.
protect
He's had over a
the-
decade in the game and he's not even 30 yet. That's
and
fucking
people
crazy.
will get, sometimes just let them make mistakes. Let them do this shit.
Yeah.
I got to make all my mistakes in the quiet, not in front of the world, and now I'm still a mistake, but it's alright.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
sure if people saw the first 15, 20 years of their life, they might have a different perspective of you, but now
Fam, my
you've come out.
mistakes. Mad. Fucking mad.
Yeah, but you're,
But, you know,
stand-up
so I
guy,
got
fam.
some time. Let's go to an unfortunate one quickly. Mark Duggan. What year was that? Google it, because I can't remember. Was that 2014? Where he was murdered by the police.
Was it 012 or 013?
11?
Basically,
Fuck.
Modric still played for Tottenham, and I remember because the Tottenham games, it was in August because the Premier League season went back 1 week because of the situation.
You know, it's mad. It doesn't even feel like it was that long ago.
No, I only know because Luka Modric played for Tottenham.
Yeah, it's mad.
I remember everything through football.
You're like, let me ask you about that because that happened in your ends. So like, I remember obviously when it happened and that, and then there was like people were pissed about that, and then before I know it now, I'm getting phone calls of like people saying, right, there's a madness happening in the north. What was like, from your perspective, yeah? What did you see and what happened?
So it happened at the top of my estate, and
Is that where it started?
that's where the incident where Mark got shot.
Yeah.
Literally the top of my estate. And some interesting things is that there was a video released of someone, because there's university flats there now, and someone filmed the whole thing, and no one knows what that video is.
Mad.
Someone filmed the whole thing from there. I remember when it went online, and I obviously over time, disappeared. But that disappeared. I wish I could find it again. In terms of the actual rioting and looting, I found that shit funny as fuck. And maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. I found that funny as fuck. We're in Finsbury Park, Rowans, sitting down, and then it came on this. In Finsbury Park, Rowans, when you go to the main area, there's a massive projector screen. Massive projector screen. It usually plays football. For some strange reason, the news is on. Everybody, man ain't bowling now. Man ain't at a bar now. Man are looking at this thing, and they're like, wait, where is this? Tottenham High Road. So we're in Finsbury Park. So I said, let's go down to Tottenham High Road. Now, on our way going down to Tottenham High Road, we get a phone call. Paul, come to the retail park. It's going off. What? I don't know if you've been Tottenham Hale. When you go to Tottenham Hale, you come out the station. There's a station area. Then to your left directly, there's a KFC, a Pizza Hut. There used to be like a Maplin. I don't know what it is now. Then across the road from that little small island, Ferry Island that's called. Across the road from Ferry Island, there's another massive retail park. It's got Dixon's and Burger King and PC World and all of these different types of shops. JD Sports, Boots and them ting there. Little Next and what's next? I'll tell you what's next, big man. Man has gone there and man are going crazy. I'm hearing man say, look, I'm in beef with you, you're in beef with me, that means nothing today. Let's get this money. Man are smashing through these windows, getting TVs, laptops. Man walked in JD Sports saying, yo, what size are you? I said, Bomba.
What size are you? Fuck.
I was too scared. I was in a jeans jacket.
Yeah.
Some crop camel shorts. I was wearing some Topman boat shoes. It was lit. I had a really nice white t-shirt on. And I was standing there eating an ice cream saying, what the fuck is going on? It got so bad, 2 people looting. Said, yo, Paul, what's going on? Let's take a picture. I said, big man, you want to commit crime and take a picture at the scene of the crime? Yeah, idiot. Let's do it. Burger King didn't want to give me a burger. They said, oh, we're too scared. I said, big man, I'm not going to brock in Burger King to take a burger if there's all these other things that I could take to make money.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not doing that because I'm just too scared. If I have to go back to my mum and explain I've stolen the TV, I just don't know how that conversation's going to go. Plus, I'm a youth worker. Like, how's that conversation going to go? Let me just hold my thing. But
your family's like mine a little bit. I'm not one of them man who would have been able to go home with a big TV.
What?
With no questions asked.
The only man that would have allowed it was Papa. You see, my mum.
Yeah, my dad would have been cool with that. So.
My mum is telling you, take that stolen property
out of my yard.
Out of my yard.
Yeah.
So...
Before I beat you with it.
But then the problems with what we done, we never saw at the time. The high road smashed up all of that. One, more people started doing it. And then the more people went to Enfield to do it the next day, bare them got shift. Bare people got shift. Bare people got arrested. And then little things like football got pushed a week back. So then there was a lot of people upset about football. Then the high road was so smashed and so messed up. Little things like man can't go to the high road to go to get food, and the parents are complaining.
There's burning buildings and shit like that. It got mad. And you know what the maddest thing is on top of that, yeah? It filtered out bare places, bro. It branched out into like my part of like West London. You know my part. So what happened is man was like smashing up windows and that, yeah, in my area and that, just mashing up the whole place. My barber went outside the shop with a baseball bat, and he was like, listen, you lot can do anything you want to do on the high road. You see this shop here? No one's coming in this one.
You should have gone Green Lanes. You see Green Lanes with the Turkish community.
Oh, serious?
I love them.
Because
man went down there. Machine, they come out like
what?
I said, come on, my bro.
They might come out like triads.
What? Give me the Turkish flag. I would have.
Yeah, of course.
I loved it because they all united and said, you know what?
Yeah,
we understand what you're doing.
But this here,
the retail pub, you see our thing.
Yeah.
Our little gold shop and
a little grocery store.
The grocery.
Yeah, our little Fesmon gal and that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not get what I'm saying. Big man's gonna come and take away my rascal shawarma and them thing on the thing. You gotta be fucking crazy.
So for me, personally, I found beauty in that.
Yeah, I hear that.
I found beauty, I found unity.
It spread out to Birmingham and Manchester as well. Like all really the next day, it got so mad, bro.
They tried Central London as well. And
yeah, it didn't work. They tried Westfields. It didn't really work.
Oh my God, Wood Green! They broke up. Man were getting Costa coffee, my brother. They absolutely... I remember driving through Wood Green. So I lived in Palmer's Green these times. And I looked at it and... As a young, this is like, 9 years ago now. 9 years ago, I'm busting up. Saying, bare gal come out. Girls.
Were they? Ballied out? Or no?
Ballied out. Long weave. Coming through the belly at the back.
Oh, bare gal must have been teeth enough.
H&M. H&M.
Oh, okay.
It was H afterwards. The M's gone, fam. Man took mannequins. Everything was good. When I saw a mannequin outside, I knew no one was safe.
Oh, mannequin, you know. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, that was a mad time. But yeah, R.I.P. Mark Duggan.
100.
Let's go to Lady Leshurr, actually. Lady Leshurr, just quickly, I wanted to speak about her because she, like early on in her career, yeah, it was her and Paigey Keiki. And them two together on the microphone were on crud. Like, people could not necessarily stand next to them when it came to freestyle or whatever. And I remember, like, at the time, people always kind of tipped Paigey Keiki to go.
Yeah.
More than Lady Leshurr, yeah? That's
where she was from. Remember, at the same time, she was with Teezy. Teezy was doing kind of well. They had... What's Tigger the Author was with them. Okay. They had a little collective. I remember Paigey was working alongside Quasar Matthews was shooting some of her shit. And she had a bit of a buzz and she was cute. So it was... That primarily, she's mixed race, so she's light skinned. Everyone preferred that. So that was the reasons. Lady Leshurr was just a girl from Brom that had no story to the people in London. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that. But what she ended up doing, she ended up finding her thing. And when she did the first Queen speech, these times here, I used to go on like World Star Hip Hop every day to see what the hell was going on. These that were posting up Lady Leshurr and posting that a couple of times. And then, you know, like she had the theme with the brush your teeth and all of that. And then like all the like young, like bare young kids started gravitating to her. And like that she started doing a bunch of them. Like all these, she got crazy views, started traveling the world doing that, doing shows in New York, Australia, all of that type of stuff. But also still just flexing on the microphone, still showing her ability in that, doing these Queen speeches and stuff like that. Yeah, she fully contributed to, you know, pushing the scene where it is today. And she doesn't get talked about as much, but like, man, respect her. People that know and people that are of this thing or whatever really have a lot of time for her still, because she's got it, man.
Shout out my brother Kirk. I remember, this might be over a decade ago now. We found Lady Leshurr from the SBTV freestyle. Shout out Jama Edwards, her F64.
Oh yeah, she did a mad F64.
And that first 60, bro, I was in love. I used to play that on repeat. And then I remember my brother, shout out Kirky. Yeah. He reached out to Lady Leshurr, drove all the way to Birmingham to shoot a video for her.
Oh, for real?
Shot a video, yeah. You Can't Stop What I'm Doing. Might even promote that song today. And this is very early on, and we just loved Lady Leshurr because we just felt to ourselves, Lady Leshurr, because we just felt like she was a better example of a rapper, not a female rapper, not a male rapper. She was just a dope rapper. Yeah. And I felt like that's what I loved about her. Like, she was so good. She was so clever. She was so quirky. Yeah. And then, so to see that part of her journey where, I remember, I think she said to Kurt, like, she was confused why all of that was happening, to where she is right now. Bro, still humble, still normal.
I'm glad you mentioned this F64.
Fam, the F64 is crazy, bro.
Bro, she's got 3 of them.
The first one is crazy, bro.
Yeah, her first one was mad. She did them quite close to each other, so I think she did 2 in 1 year. Yeah, she, which was 9 years ago, and then I remember she did one 2008. Well, it's 8 years ago, so it was probably like.
So when's the first one she done?
It was 9 years ago.
Oh, so it was in the decade.
Yeah, it was in a decade.
Yeah, Kurt Winner shot the video for her then.
Stop
play a little bit of this.
We might have to not monetize. Prem, man. Premium, dog.
I'm gonna get that premium thing.
I ain't got it though.
Those are not.
No rules.
Don't say a word. Shout out to Daps on the maps. Yeah, listen. Wait, I'm just gonna play a tiny bit of it. Watch her now, yeah.
No, but this is really good, you know.
This is her last one.
Oh, wooing him.
Watch her.
Oh, this is the new one.
She's dressed up in that as well.
SBTV. Production on the beat.
Shout out to her, though.
How sweet is she, though?
Yeah, until she starts spazzing. She's smiling and that, grinning bare teeth. Watch her.
No, it's gonna kill it.
Watch her.
I put my heart in a beat. A lot of MCs wanna target my dreams, but they can't because the bars are garbage and weak, and they're not anywhere hard as hard as I see. Them on the air, but still I can't even breathe. Fulfill my bars in a speech. I feel like Martin Luther. I start the future because I'm just a dream. When did they get slept on? They look to lie. Only do it where your best been crept on. I've lost my mind, head gone, ain't got the time. I wash my own hands, yes, I'm always on one. My cup don't work. Leave them amazed that I got no words. Watch those birds tweet. They see I'm sick, man, I need no nurse. I make shake them.
But the first one though, bro, because you know what I like about the first one? Do you know why I like people's early material? Because they're not polished.
Yeah, that's true.
So you get to see what they thought of themselves through the way they're.
This is her first one.
But it's polished.
Could you do me a favour, Callum? Yeah, find out SBTV's first video.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure it was way outside of the decade, but yeah.
It was this with him. That's not the first one.
This is her first one.
Is it the first one?
This is her first one, I believe.
Nah, type in Lady Leshurr Woo with him.
This was 2010.
That ain't the one I'm talking about. This is good, but Woo with him.
Okay, there's another one here, yeah. I'm not sure which one was first, though. It's in the same year.
Go to the Woo with him. Go to the alternative.
12 years ago was SBTV's
12 years
first
ago.
one, yeah.
Oh my god! Yay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yo!
We'll play a tiny piece of it.
Yo! Oh my god. Lisa, yeah?
How long ago was this?
This was 10 years ago.
This is how you start off the decade. Leshurr, I love you. I love you. Watch it.
Watch it now.
4. 4. 4.
Oh my god.
You remember me, pause. Now look at the mess that Leash caused. Tidy up, my rhymes are nuts. They like me plus impressed with support. No bra banks, over the heads like a guitar strap. Two veins, like what arms have. No seats in mouth open like you're a kind of a scar back. You better off staying with your hairline is far back. Try to be front if you can't back. I give you come but they can't down.
See, she had the digs as well. You know, like just that.
She sent for me
The
still.
poking. Did she?
Yeah, I was sent for your hairline far back. Man's got that still.
She always does that. Like, that's her thing, innit? Fucking.
Sorry, bro.
Let's go to gigs. Let's go to gigs. Gigs, obviously. Gigs have been obviously doing this thing way outside of the decade. Yeah.
Way outside.
But the reason why it's important to talk about gigs, yeah, from 2010 to now, where he was in his career and what he was doing in his life, yeah, to now it's nuts, bro. Because gigs literally had a glass ceiling over his head, which was super low. He was not able to do a single thing. He weren't allowed to go anywhere. He wasn't allowed to do anything. He was doing shows and getting cancelled and that. And I always hear about, like, I always remember the time when he was about to sign the deal. You know what I mean? And a little piece of money about to get put in his pocket or whatnot. Next minute, Trident's ringing up the record label. You can sign the deal, but we're just letting you know, if you sign the deal, this is what's going to happen. Now we can't sign the deal again. All of these type of things, yeah. He had to go through a whole load of dog shit to be able to be where he is today. And it is super inspiring, bro.
The reason why it's super inspiring, for me personally, I'm like, cause I know the amount of people right now that 10 years ago probably wrote you off that are now smiling in your face. And that's the immature side of me. I like that. And people that write certain situations off with the information they have, which is it's just bollocks. You don't know nothing about this. And now the culture that we love has become so big, and Giggs is one of the founding fathers within it. Him being at the forefront, it just makes me really happy. You
know that 10 years ago was Look What the Cat Dragged In. That's 10 years old, you know.
So then how old
that was on Let 'Em Have It.
So how old is Look Out Your Bar still, Tim and Skepta? 2008.
That's old, yeah. I think that's
this
outside.
Might sound a little greasy. Let me quickly go to the toilet. I'm holding this in for an hour.
Alright, cool. Let me try and find that. Just quickly, yeah. You know, Wiley was talking about, you know, he's going on Twitter talking about, see how you friend up with Ed. Keep friending up with Ed. You see all of that, yeah? And I said on the podcast, you know what, I want a t-shirt saying friend up with Ed. Someone's just made one.
Oh, man.
I was like, raw. Hey, I'm friend up with Ed.
And they think that Wiley isn't the greatest.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, so the song you're talking about, that was 2009 still. But yeah, bro. So, Let 'Em Have It. That was like, that was the album that came out 2010. And I know there was bare mixtapes and that, that he did from then. And then there was, around that time. And then he had, When Will It Stop? And I remember, because I spoke about this before, When Will It Stop Here has got one of my favourite songs from Giggs called Best Pussy. What was the context we was talking about that?
I can't remember. I remember
what you talking about that. Yeah, Best Pussy, bruv. That's one of my favourite. He don't perform that or nothing like that, but that's one of my one of my favourite songs from him. But
so
then,
basically, he was the man that told everyone at the start, don't fuck with cats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally. But like, he had a show, yeah. I could be wrong in this. I can't remember the actual venue, but I think it was Hammersmith or Shepherd's Bush. And the police cancelled it on the day.
I remember that.
on the day. And he put out a video on GRM and he was just sitting there and he was just like, I'm sorry, innit, but they just keep doing this to man, basically. But they can't hold it, like, just keep supporting. You know, like, you could tell on his face that he was, like, not massively surprised that they did it, but just like, when will it stop? Like, when is it going to stop? And it's just testament to, like, a person who keeps doing it. And you know what, yeah, when you have a fan base that genuinely love you, after a while, there's nothing that anyone can do. These men started doing shows. What were they doing? It was like hiring a venue, then getting people to meet at a certain point to get on a coach. Then they would get on a coach and it would drive them to a venue. This is what all these men had to do so that it couldn't get locked off. Drive them to a venue, have the shubs, do whatever. People jump back on the coach again, drop them off somewhere, and then boom. He can make a little something and do. He probably wasn't even making anything doing that.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a better experience.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, of course.
The
people that's done that, the people that went on that, they will never forget that. Ever forget that.
They're part of the process which changed.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, Giggs, do you know what I think? Whilst people like Giggs still exist and make music in our scene, can I just say Talk About It is one of my favourites. And I know it's new, but I am in love with that song. Yeah. But whilst that Giggs still exists, yeah, you know this sort of artists that come out, when am I going to get my break? And are always bugging that the scene's holding them back. Listen, Giggs was being held back. Giggs has persevered. Don't worry about your little
absolute bits.
Do you know what? Why don't
people consistently making bangers in the mix of all of it?
Can't someone make like a Bible for our scene? So you know, like for example, whenever I used to go to my nan, like, this is happening to her, she'd always refer to the Bible and show me something where that would kind of put me at ease, even though I wasn't religious. Yeah. Isn't there something that we can make for like the scene where people go, I'm being held back, this is happening, and then we just bring out the chapter with Giggs and say, well, these are all the things that happened to him, these are the things that he had to go through, and look where he is right now. Chill out, my brother. Everything's gonna be cool.
Trust me.
Giggs
it's nuts, bro.
Lot, bruv.
And then remember, like, Whipping Excursion. When Whipping Excursion started hitting, bro, you know what, yeah? I went to Hammersmith Apollo, yeah, when Rick Ross came, and this was like when BMF was like, you know, like, that was the biggest hip-hop record in the world. Huh?
What year was that?
I can't remember. Google when BMF Rick Ross came out. So it probably was like maybe a year after the release. Yeah. He had a show. 2010.
Pretty early.
2000. Bro, shit, that long ago.
I thought so a little while ago.
Bro, I remember going to that, yeah, and never feeling that type of energy ever in my life in that building. Fam, you see when Giggs did Hammersmith Apollo?
Was it mad?
And did Whipping Excursion.
Was it madder than GRM? Was it madder than GRM?
Fam.
It was different.
Fam, honestly,
you know the rated awards.
Yeah. No, it was madder than that, bro. It was madder than that, bro. I'm sure he's got the video. He posts a lot on his Instagram, so it take ages to find it. Yeah, but bro, I swear on my life, bro. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Yeah, the energy in that building was crazy. I actually thought the floor was gonna cave in.
It didn't surprise me that happened to that song though. When I saw Travis Scott tweet the lyrics, I was like, oh no. Oh God, no. Because you know what it is, yeah? Travis Scott Sonics and his crowd, they're crazy. If they catch wind of this record, because this song's crazy. Man. And bro, I don't know what happened, but that entrance music sounds like nuts. I feel like I'm going to see Sting.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Joshua should just forever come out to that. He will never lose a fight. If man's in the ring, man don't know what's going on.
You can't lose.
You can't lose to playing Whipping Excursion.
No way.
Man will drive the whip right into the ring. Yeah. Everyone loses, cuz.
As an excursion. It's honestly nuts.
Anthony Joshua, I'm just saying, Whipping Excursion Giggs. He's no one don't even walk
when he fights Deontay Wilder, that's the one. You need that.
But Giggs can't walk out of him. Giggs needs to be somewhere on an elevated stage.
Maybe just in his yard.
Imagine he's done a live performance from his yard.
But anyway, yeah, doing all of that and then now just recently doing Wembley Arena is just, yeah, it's nuts, bro. Like, Wembley Arena, bro, it's crazy.
You know, that's a dream
Gigs
of
at
mine.
Wembley Arena, you know.
11.5K. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's
That's
nuts.
a dream, you know, like Wembley
Arena.
The Wem.
You had handcuffs on you, bro. Like, you could not go in. He literally had handcuffs on him. Man went jail and that for a thing. Got a mad bird for that. Yeah, and then he can't go nowhere, can't do no shows. And then now, you know, he's having to create his own thing, trying to find ways to do shows, still making music, still doing bangers, still making bangers. You know, he's got a couple of classics. He's got classic mixtapes. He's got a couple of classic albums as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, bro. And now man's doing Wembley Arena. It's nuts.
Wow.
Because I don't want to be interrupted, so I know we've got to move. But there's two things I definitely want to bring up. Well, three things I definitely want to bring up before we leave. Artist-wise, we got to talk about Krept and Konan.
Oh, incredible.
That 10-year reign. Tsunami. You talk, bro. You talk. I know you was an advocate from early when people were like, remember when they had the Otis freestyle and that, and people were doing spare doubt in them.
Do you know what?
Tsunami came out 10 years ago.
Tsunami. Do you know what it is? I was so young. So much happened in my life. I don't even remember how much I used to consume Tsunami until it came on, and I'll be like, oh my God, I remember this, I remember that. But I remember my entry point to Krept and Konan massively was because of Who's Real. And I just remember these two rappers just using bare wordplay, and they had Crazy Titch in the intro. All this stuff. I was like, who are these guys? I got Tsunami. Like, these men are fucking cold. So for a time, I was trying to do some work with them, like get them on That's a Rap. Or at the time, I was like, you lot are so sick. I found a message from me and Krept in like 010 or 011 or something like that. Around the first time I started talking to him. And then the Otis freestyle happened.
Yeah. And
I came and met them. We done That's a Rap with them. And it was the first interview after they got 1 million views. And the joy on Conan's face, and they were with Cashtastic as well.
Okay.
They were all there, and it was just lit. Konan, and then my man, he lost the footage. So that footage would,
No.
Imagine they've just got 1 million views. We've got the exclusive interview. Cashtastic's there. This is great footage. Konan looks so happy. I remember Krept's always the reserve, like chilled out one, but really inside I know he's burning. Yeah. Konan's just really expressive, and I remember how happy they were. And I didn't even know Konan's situation at the time. So when I realised that at the time they made Otis, my man was homeless, but he was still doing all of that, to what they're doing now, it's a really, really beautiful story.
Yes, it's nuts.
It's really, because I remember from that, I just remember the way that they understood the metrics of the net. Yeah. And I think that's what's kept them doing so well. Because, Can you put into perspective as well, like getting 1 million views back then? I mean, it was overnight. And now I can say as a big man, I question it. I love them, but I really question it. I don't know how that happened. That's ridiculous. But pushing that aside, still. I remember when they made...
But 1 million views back then was fucking... That was
1 million views is 100 million views now. It was ridiculous. Yeah. No one was getting 1 million views. You're right. No one was getting 1 million views. And they got it well, but... I don't want to talk about that situation too much because people have too much negative things to say about it.
That, yeah, it's true.
But just to know, don't waste my time. Konan made that in the shower.
Did he?
He made it in the shower, saying it to himself, and then he recorded the loop, and then this is what he told me, and then anyway, they've gone and made the song. And to see the journey of that song, and then you hear the stories about Chip asking French Montana to be in it, and then Chip's on the remix, and then Retro's on the remix, and then this is just too mad for me.
All of that super contributed to like, you know, people overseas really respecting what's going on over here, you know.
And then they made the Jeremiah record. Huh? And then they made, because remember that was Don't Waste My Time was the hood tune, but they needed that commercial song that was kind of still can play in the clubs, but the pop crowd would like it. Yeah. So when I heard Freak of the Week,
bro,
I remember Young'un coming out and saying to Krept, "Why are you not spitting all over it?" And then Krept said to him, "No, this is how you write lyrics as for the crowd." So Krept again thinking so much strategically, what's gonna get this and what's gonna do that. Krept's an absolute genius as well. Konan, that boy is just full of music. His father was a musician. So then I look at that moment. They made Freak of the Week, and after that, I think people thought, then what they've done is what I think Krept and Konan don't get enough credit for, and maybe I haven't even given them enough credit, is after delivering good sonical experiences which make us go, we like Krept and Konan, they've just spent the past few years, in my eyes, focusing more on how we make Krept and Konan big outside of music, which is deferred their attention from the music, but they still make good quality music, because that song with WizKid's a fucking banger. So I just like, I really rate
Syrup
Krept and
with the
Konan.
ice.
What?
Oi.
Are you mad?
The beat drops, then there's like a little pause. Syrup with the ice.
And
Oi.
she don't want to get to look. I'm just like, do you know what, you lot? You've had,
Yeah,
they've had
they've
some
got good bodies of work as well, you know. Like
Bruh.
Young Kings was good. That's got Don't Waste My Time on it. But there's a song on there called Young Kings out, which was sick. They got their G Fresh on there, I believe, when G Fresh was out there barring.
My God, do you know what they were on? This is why I fucking rate. This is when I was so happy. This is the time I was screaming like Krept and Konan was a player that just signed for Arsenal or something like that.
Yeah.
Tiny releases a project. I hear about a song called 100K on it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
that
that's
was hard.
on the song is like Tinchy Strider's
He had
verse.
J. Cole on there.
No, Tinchy Strider's verse on 100K needs
mad.
to be respected.
Mad. I'm not gonna lie.
Needs to be respected.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. That obviously that's easily Tiny's best project, obviously, yeah. But like
With ease.
that showed that he actually has skill.
Who?
Like Tiny.
I'll be honest with you. That's the reasons why I'm upset with Tiny. I'll forever be upset with Tiny. You can't give me that project
And
give me
not
that-
yeah. I
And
hear
now
you.
you're not interested. I know you want to make money, but I'm allowed to be upset with you, Tiny. So that project had 100K on it. G Fresh on that opening verse, which is ridiculous. Tinchy Strider's verse, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But Krept and Konan was speaking like I don't have 100K.
I know.
And then,
Oh, it's not on there, bro.
so the 100K song,
Spotify.
Krept had a bar talking about saying 100K. He basically said that when you're going to make 100K, he said 100 days, and then he made a bar about saying that's so Raven because he's seeing into the future. All of these things. Bro, you was right. This was my tune! Tiny, I can't lie to you. You can tell Dummy, the whole of Disturbing London.
Right. What's
I don't like
what's
it. I want this from Tiny. Tiny's going mad! He's going mad! I know this may not have made you money, but help me. Tiny, this is in the club! What? G Fresh went mad.
What's him now?
My first 100!
Man said I was 21, sitting in my mum's house counting out my first 100.
You see G Fresh, I'm not your friend as
Don't
well.
ramp
How about
with
that?
G.
No, I'm not his
Don't
friend.
ramp with
No,
G, you know.
We're not his friend. We're not speaking to him.
Why?
He's not doing music.
I know. That's what. Remember, I asked you this time ago. I said,
I'm not talking to him.
because he manages Young Bane for people who don't know. Yeah, does Young Bane understand what this
No.
my man on the microphone?
He does, but he doesn't. No one understands.
Like, I'm curious to see if they sit in like if they're on a tour bus and then like G just gives him a little
What was the name of G Fresh's last project?
Lego.
But no, it wasn't that one. The one with the. Listen, no one knows how much respect I have for G Fresh. You know, what's the name of that project again? Oh, can I forget it? Jesus Christ, I'm staying off alcohol.
He
for a
had
while.
Lego Man. He had Alfie.
Alfie. I think it's
Alfie. That's his last album.
All right, so you see Alfie, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest with you.
Can't remember Alfie. You know.
You don't remember Alfie?
I can't. I'm sure I know songs on this, but I'm.
When I play it anyway, listen, I've got it on my other hard drive. I haven't listened to it for time. I've got so much music on my other hard drive. I'm pissed off. Anyway, I went to go and see him do a listening party for Alfie. My brother cried speaking about one of the lines, talking about he was out here on the roads and he couldn't make it to his daughter's parents' evening.
Yeah.
My brother, like, just what G Fresh is to me and the brute honesty about that. He's always smiling, he's always in a good mood, always giving good vibes, and he wasn't afraid to be vulnerable for a second.
Yeah.
You don't understand how much respect I have for this man.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he'd come back to music.
Yeah.
And he's done one thing for me that no one's really done for me, and I will always thank him. But I'm not talking to him because he's not making music, and I'm not talking to Tiny. Not that we were talking anyway, not that we were great
I
friends,
hear
but
that still.
I'm not talking to any of these guys because they gave me that project, and where are they now?
Of course, I hear that.
100K
You
should
know
have had a
what?
video.
Tiny, man, I respect Tiny, and I actually like him. I think Tiny's a like.
No.
I've met.
We
he's-
respect him,
he's
but
got
we don't
such
know. We
good
don't
energy.
like him, Chucky.
But the music
He has
thing,
that project.
Yeah, I know.
He has that project, and before
Tiny,
that,
you took the piss.
No, before
I'm sorry,
that,
Tiny,
no,
you took the
he's
piss.
got another project. He's got
How
another
do you
project.
know this?
He's got another project. He's done a project before that, and Russell Brand was all over it. That project
Did
was
he?
good as well. Yeah, it had a couple tunes on there. I saw he had a tune with Chip on there. He had a tune with Chip on there. It might have been the John version.
See if you
No
try,
deal.
try and see if
I
you
would-
can Google that. bro.
No deal.
Try and see if you
Oh
can
no,
Google it.
Ledman's out. I've done a deal or no deal.
What am I Googling?
I just made
Here,
200.
Russell Brand. So Tiny Russell Brand. Maybe put Chip on there. See if something comes up.
I hope I haven't got it wrong. No, I don't think I have got it wrong. He basically was doing covers of loads of different tunes, and it was on a mixtape, and Russell Brand was speaking over it. That's kind of my entry point. But Tiny was lit. What was it called?
You found it?
I will find it because I've got it on my other. But anyway, Tiny's given me 2 projects I like, and he doesn't want to do that no more. And I'm really upset.
Find it? Anything come up?
Put in Tiny.
Tiny
Chip,
will be sitting
and
there
John.
thinking it's called this.
I'm sorry, man. I don't.
But yeah.
So it's just a skit.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
I know where it is. I'll find it anyway.
You'll find it, yeah. Or maybe what you do is when you find it, tell Callum and you can put it on the screen. We can't do any of this without talking about Skepta. We can't do any of this without talking about Skepta. Do you know what? Yeah, I left Skepta last
Poet
on like.
standing in the way of the camera.
Huh?
Poet standing in the way
It's
of the
alright.
camera.
It gives this visual some character.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, Rasta.
Skepta, flipping out, bro. Obviously, he's been in this for 2 decades. But like the last decade that he has had.
You didn't listen to his last album. He's lived here before. His granddad's got the same name as him. He's been here forever.
Okay, all right. I hear that still. All right. But like, it's mad. Like there's so much things to say about him. You know, like I know some people were talking about like artists of the decade and all of that type of stuff. Yeah, and people were having like conversations about different artists that it could be. And for me, it could only ever be Skepta. And like Giggs is close because of what Giggs went through and where he is now. But like, there's so many different layers to what Skepta ended up doing, yeah, from the start of the decade to now. And one of the reasons why I give him this edge here is because it wasn't always just about music. It was also like what Skepta has done for fashion wise. Like mental. All these different fashion waves, bro. Like he's made so many things cool. Like, you know, doing the Ed Hardy shit. Then it was like, you know what, Tracksuit Mafia. This is the thing that I'm on right now. Then it's like, you know what, I'm gonna give you the trainers. Like I'm gonna give you the SK trainers. Then obviously, yeah, he went for a period where he changed his mind. You know, he went in while everyone was sleeping. He did jump back in the bin and take all of his things back out, and maybe everyone else's as well. But you know what, everyone's entitled to change their mind.
Don't say that about Skepta.
Everyone's entitled to change their mind. You know what I mean? But
Foreign Objects.
Yeah, Foreign Object.
Foreign Objects. Sorry, I
found
had to
it.
do that.
Okay.
The Foreign Object project. It didn't have John on it. That was on.
Russell Brand skit 2. Oh no, there's 3.
Thank you. Just made me feel like I was crazy, but I am.
Good.
No.
Yeah, it's Russell Brand intro, Russell Brand skit 2, and then 3.
Yeah, Foreign Object. Thank you. I can carry on my life.
But yeah, Skepta has like gone from like, you know, blacklisted, underdog psychosis. Yeah. There's one thing that I wish that I got. To this day, I wish I got it, yeah. And I don't, anytime I see him, I don't ask him for it. I don't ask anyone about it or whatever. I just leave it. I have it as a moment that I missed. And some people have it, some people don't, yeah. But on Blacklisted, he's got a song called Ace Hood Flow. If you remember the video of Ace Hood Flow, he's there, he's rolling a spliff. He's got a high top. I think he's got a line in the high top. And he's just spitting the bar or whatever.
No, don't stop. What's the shirt?
He's got a Versace shirt, innit? Yeah, he's got a Versace shirt. Do you know what I missed? About a year later, he made a jumper of him from that video. I remember. And there was only like 100 of them. And I remember when he put it on the line, when he put it online, he was like, yeah, it's not for sale or whatever. But all my money was tied up in a thing that I wasn't, you understand what I'm saying? So I was thinking, you know what, yeah? Should I use the piece that's not technically mine to buy it, knowing that at some point maybe I might recoup from this thing or whatever?
I hope you did.
But I didn't. I just thought, you know what? I thought, you know what? I'll just leave it. And I missed it. And I saw someone wearing it the other day.
Fam.
I saw someone wearing it.
I tweeted, fam, there's a couple way better no drops that I missed. Someone sent me that. And I was like, bro, and I feel the same way as you. And it's like, and I know what you're talking about. I wish I had that.
I wish I had that, bro.
But it doesn't matter.
But yeah, you know, I don't slip anymore. But yeah, then also like, he's one of the first people to, like the whole Drake thing. That was like, Drake wasn't the first person. Wait, let me say this right. Drake had embraced UK artists long before Skepta. But this was like something that was super different at the time. And them two started getting on. I remember Skepta doing an interview talking about at the time that it happened, he just had to switch his phone off because it was just getting super crazy and whatnot. And then them two ended up having their thing, whatever.
They went Wimbledon.
Huh? They went Wimbledon, yeah, they did all of that, innit? They had their moment and stuff. And then you had the fucking That's Not Me, which ended up then going to him, like, he broke America. He broke it. He broke America. He was one of the first to go out into China and do shows at that level. And then he was one of the first to go to Africa. You see, like now, everyone's going to Africa and doing shows. Look at Stormzy's list of shows that he's doing this year. Like, he's literally got Europe, America, Asia, and Africa. Yeah.
Stormzy's lit.
Yeah. All of that, yeah. Skepta was actually, he didn't lay it out like that because that's not really how it was, but it was like, you know what, boom, go America. Let me go and do the stage show stuff. Let me stand out on the street and get Maximum to set up a thing and let's try and do pirate radio in New York.
Let me show you why he's so sick about the New York thing, fam. A man just flew there and just tried his thing. I can tell you he was staying at one of my brethren's house. I can't disclose the information like that because I don't know if it's public, but like, he was staying at one of my brethren's house, fam. And he's like, Poet, this guy would just get up and just be on job and go do his thing. Like, that was just the pattern. And his focus and his application within the past 10 years, and he's had a couple of little dark moments as well, fam.
Of course.
And the way he has spun that around, and the nicest thing about Skepta I can say is, he controls the narrative within his life. Better times people come out and try and say things about Skepta, he just ignores. And then when he's ready to speak on it, you heard on Nasty. I don't know why Chip mentioned my name, but Neverman's trying to get attention. You see, Skepta, honestly, is my favourite UK artist of all time. I honestly respect that man. So, I mean, he's a DJ.
Of course.
He was a DJ.
Yeah, of course. And he still to this day just goes back to wherever there's a microphone and people are at, I'm there.
The Den.
And I'm barring everyone's head off. You know, he's a man it's like, you can't, like, bro, the amount of lyrics this man's got in his fucking head and the amount of rewind lyrics my man's got as well, which is, the amount of pull-up lyrics he's got is nuts. But like, he's actually always had an aura to me. I can't lie. Like, he's always had, like, when I used to see Skepta back in the day and that, I always used to look at him and in my mind I used to just think, he just looks like somebody. You know, like, he just looks like he's a somebody. You know, you have certain people that just come in the room and they're like, who's that brother? Like, who's that girl or whatever? Like, he's just got that thing of, like, he just has an aura of something that is just bigger than just it being a personality. Do you get me? It's nuts. Yeah, bro.
Sorry, I feel I cut you off twice. I
didn't mention, obviously, Krept and Konan did O2 Arena. He did the Olympic Arena this 2009.
That was mad.
And yeah, bro, he's got classic albums. He's just got bare moments, man. The one thing I wanted to bring up quickly as well. Is there anything you wanted to say on Skepta? Even though I'm still technically still on him, kind of.
The thing is, there's no, because do you know what? There's no point.
He's the artist of the decade for me, basically.
He's just my artist, to be fair.
Yeah.
He said, he's just, do you know what it is? Skepta to me, his music, and there's a lot of people, Gigs is like this as well to me.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Chip songs that are like this to me, where whenever I'm a bit lost in life, I play music that kind of relates to my mood.
Yeah.
And there's just certain answers in the song. So even the other day, I was in a bit of a mood, and I played Skepta, and I heard Skepta say, when you realise it wasn't your girl, it was just your turn. I realised that bullet from a gun will no longer hurt me no more, because you can't shoot at me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what, Skeppy, safe for that, brother. And it may sound really simple and really stupid.
It resonates.
Like, but I'm being honest with you. It's true, that wasn't my girl. It was just my turn. So now I'm like, why not? If we move on, keep it moving. So I can't lie, Skepta just. And I like one thing I was gonna say. He's a good. Maybe not for everyone, but for me, he's a good example of how the older generation could potentially behave for you to have a certain level of respect for them.
Of course.
He embraces all the younger people. He consistently does music for them. He bigs them up on tunes. On Bullet from a Gun, he's bigging up J Huss and Heady One. And I see him do songs with AJ Tracy. He's just about action for me, and I just really like that. He doesn't really talk much. When he does, it's Apple Music with Pharrell Williams. So,
yeah, it's proper.
Or Julie, proper things.
Yeah, it's proper. Shout out to him. German Whip 2014 was a time where something was happening. Like something started to happen. Yeah. And like German Whip was it was like now you're starting to hear a grime record again now in clubs all over the country, not just in a certain place. It's like all over the country. Everyone's fiending for this record now. And one of the big things that sparked, was Culture Clash. And just for people who don't know, Culture Clash happened 3 times. It actually happened. The first Culture Clash in London was in 2014, and Boy Better Know won that.
You remember?
And then the next one was 2015, which was in Earls Court Arena, And like, there's a memory that I have from that I'll actually just never forget, because when I went there, firstly, when I went in there and I noticed that they had like all the sound systems. So they had like a sound system in all 4 corners of the dance, and everyone had their own sound system. And I saw that this was the type of clash they was having. Straight away, that resonated with me, because I remember my dad always telling me, like, when he was young and he was a sound man and that, when you were clashing, you had to bring your own sound system. There wasn't this playing off your, like there was one sound system and everyone's playing off that sound system. Traditionally, I had my sound and you had your sound, and it wasn't always just about the it wasn't always just about the tunes that you played, but it was also about how you set up your speakers and making your own speakers. If you go on Google and you look at like old school sound systems, Jamaican sound systems and that, you'll see that like most of their speakers were just made from wood. They were making their speakers from wood, and you had a man who would make them. So now it becomes, it's about who has the sweetest sound, who can play the rhythms the best, and who's got the sweetest sound. So one man would string up his sound system over there, another man would string up his sound system over there. My man would play for half an hour, this one would play for half an hour or hour, whatever it may be. And at the end, whoever's got the sweetest sound, everyone kind of gravitates to that. So when I saw Red Bull Culture Clash did, like, someone obviously knew this and did this there, I was like, no way. This is before the things even started. But where I realized that something was changing now, I'm standing on the side of the stage where Boy Better Know are, and Maximum steps up to set up his Serato box. I remember I helped him set up his Serato box, As he stepped up, the cheer, bro, like the roar. Bro, the roar. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is mad to me, bro. He set up his thing, whatever. Now, Annie Max just talking about how this thing's going to work, blah, blah, blah. Then anyway, when it was these man's turn to start and JME comes out, oh, fam. Oh, my God, bruv. It was fucking incredible, bro. The atmosphere was just incredible. And they didn't win. It was David Rodigan who ended up winning in like with Rebel Sound. And if you know anything about sound system and clashing and all of that, you would have just known that. I know a lot of people at the time when they thought Boy Better Know was going to win, but David Rodigan understands this thing on a different level, and you know what I mean. But dub plates were flying around all over the place. There were performances. It was one that at that one not so much.
Oh, is it?
Not so much. The second one, 2016, bare fake dub plates. Bare fake that place. But this one here, Rebel what's his name? David Rodigan had Trevor McDonald on the screen.
That was
talking about
what's a fake dub plate?
It's basically like
one that's not real.
Basically. Say Poet's got a big tune,
Yeah.
I might have a dub plate of that tune. So that he's personalized that rhythm for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fake one is now you might get somebody who sounds like Poet to voice the tune,
right,
and now it's a war rhythm as well. So you've got him to say all these type of things, and it wasn't even really him that did it. The good thing about having a good dub plate, or the thing about having a dub plate anyway, is just the shock of having that person. Do you know what I mean?
You see Trevor McDonald on the screen.
When you see Trevor McDonald on a screen talking about some sound boys was seen running out of a venue with their pants low. That's what he was saying. All of that stuff, bro. It's like Trevor McDonald is on the fucking screen saying that shit.
And to me, that's shock value. You understand the
shock value.
He's an iconic figure within our culture. So like when you have him talking about what we're doing, it's like, you mean you know?
Yeah, man.
Well, I wish you come to the show though, Chucky.
Which one?
Let me paint the picture for you, man. I'm in
which one?
Liverpool Street.
Oh.
I'm in Brick Lane, sitting down. I'm with Nunny, Vuj, couple other man. Josh was there. Shout out Josh Barnes. There's a couple man there. We're there minding our own business. I get a text from Jama. Paul, there's a show happening tonight. What do you mean there's a show happening tonight? There's a show happening tonight in Coco's. Alright, cool. Then he says to me, I'm going to message you and show you the link.
I'm putting a cap over my face.
And you can just buy your ticket. Just buy a ticket. So he's given man the link to this ticket before it's... But it was there. It was there. You could buy a minimum of 2 tickets. So I've seen it. I've seen Skepta, Kanye and Big Sean at Coco's. I'm looking around the room for sense. I realise I'm not in the States and there's no American change. Even now there's a World War III happening. I've then gone, alright, cool. Man them. I said, I've announced it now. You man, Big Sean, Skepta, Kanye, we've got to get tickets. Scrambling. The tickets were like £15. Man are scrambling. Man ain't got bank cards. Because no one's prepared. I bought my 2 tickets. Mad. I've lined up. I'm just going mad in the line. I think I've bought like 20 Magnums. I've just given them to bare random people. I am so excited. Single-handedly, my top 3 shows I've ever gone to in my whole entire life. Imagine watching Kanye West come out doing like a Jesus Walks or Runaway, and then all of a sudden Meridian Dan comes next. You see man driving a German whip. Then Big Sean came out, and then Kanye would come back out, and he'll go back in, and Skepta would come out. Then Novelist would come. It was
mad.
Bruv, I got so drunk, I think I just jumped off the stage and jumped off the somewhere, and I remember smashing my face on the floor and laying there for time like I don't care. This is one of the best shows I've been to in my whole life. And then Kanye went mad because the screen went blank and it was like computer things. He's like, sort it out! I was like, sort it out! Bro, what a show.
Yeah.
What a show.
I'm gutted.
Skepta, what? This is what I'm trying to say to you. He's giving me... Fam, I remember... Shoreditch, I got a text, Paul, very soon. All of a sudden, it was me, Vuj. Shout out my boy Chris P. He was there.
Is this the section
car
show?
park? No, the car park.
Oh yeah, the Skepta.
The car park. I've
Talk
seen.
about that.
I messaged Julie like, Julie, what's going on? Just make sure you're at this car park for a specific time. Everyone's caught wind of it. Everyone's at the car park. I reckon that they must have put something public, but man were telling me early because they know my contribution. Then I've just seen Sam. I've looked at Sam. He's looked at me. I've given the Sam, can I come with you? He's read it. Paul, follow me. Respect in every aspect. And with the whole of Boy Better Know, I'm more gassed than anything you can imagine. I've gone backstage. He's jumped on a car. It ain't safe for the car. I've got the video. God. I will never delete that off my Instagram. Ever. Like, them moments there, yeah, I swear to God, they make me so happy to think. And it was so inclusive. Yeah. This is why I love Skepta. Very inclusive. Yes, I'm the main act, but what? You want to come? Come, man. Let's all go. You see that attitude? Oh, bruv. It takes everything down a bit. So I'll never go up to him and speak to him and have large conversations in front of it. I don't want to be rude or anything. I don't want to deter anyone. I'm just so thankful that you don't mind me being in this environment because I appreciate this. Bruv, he's jumping on the car. The music's playing. It was mental. And then the police came and locked it off. Then he just busts out and I went Ace Hotel and sat down and said, fam, fuck it. This man just gives you moments, fam. Yeah. He just gives you very sporadic moments. They done a festival at the O2.
Oh, yes.
Like, bro, we have to understand what Boy Better Know and these men are doing.
We went together.
Of course, like, we would, like, bro.
The festival at the O2, the Boy Better Know festival, BBK Festival.
That,
Radar
I think,
Radio
is quite an underrated moment, to be honest.
Massively underrated moment. These men put on a whole, like, there was football outside, there was people getting
They had gyms. Every music venue in the O2.
Shout out to Smokey Barbers and all them, I think that was there.
Shout out Smokey.
There's food, and then afterwards it was the concert, like, and then they had a big French rapper that was...
MHD.
Yes, and he was like the main support. I respect them, man, so much for doing that. Because there was so many people they could have had.
He's in prison now.
Oh yeah, I know.
So upset, man. It's just on the Champions League, but what's on the Champions League?
Yeah. Them,
like, bro.
That was a big moment, and obviously the like, what do you call it? The Kanye show at, what was it? The Brits.
The
man, like, all the man was there. I remember bare people was trying to shit on them, man, you know, for that. And then look what ended up happening after all of it.
But I'm sad, and this is the reasons why you have to be very protective about the world you're in. Because you see, me and you, we would never shit on a man that could have been in any council estate that we're in at the Brit Awards on stage with Kanye. Cause man, I should be in prison. Yeah. And now I'm over there.
And enough man was selling drugs.
And all the people that have got bad things to say about it are either one or two things or many things, but the only things that I can identify is you don't understand this culture enough to know the significance of that. So you're just going to say anything stupid. Yeah. Like people do, especially at record labels. Or He's just jealous that you weren't there.
That's true.
There's no other reason for you to look at a man that could have do several other things in the life that he lives, but he's now unapologetically at the Brits on a mad thing. Yeah. This is a moment in history.
Definitely.
Man was part of history, and man are upset that man are part of history.
Yeah, mate. When you look at our history in the last 10 years, it's insane. We got to go, but I'm going to quick fire a couple of things, yeah?
Yeah.
Just to mention, like honourable mentions as well. Trapstar, yeah? Like, what Trapstar have done in the last 10 years, incredible. Memory for me, actually, when realising how serious this was going to a wireless festival one year. It may have been 2012, and literally, it was just a sea full of Trapstar. A fucking sea full of it, bro. It was just crazy to see Rihanna supporting it and loads of other people supporting it and stuff like
Jay-Z.
that. Look at Jay as well. Yeah, they deal with Jay and all of that. Obviously, there's other artists that we could talk about forever, and we will do. I know, like, I don't want anyone to feel disheartened that we didn't. Could have talked about Gets. Could have talked about Stormzy. What else? Even actually Dapaah, you know, like I had Dapaah
his voice note is arguably the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I'm really upset that J1 started this beef and it's taken the attention away from Dapaah's voice note. Let's listen to Dapaah's voice note.
Dapaah's voice note?
Haven't you heard it?
No.
When someone says that your music's my guilty pleasure.
What does he say?
Oh my lord. Oh my god. Carry talking, I have to go find it.
No, because I'm gonna move on. I was going to move... Alright, go on, you can anyway. But actually, the thing that I was going to move on to was quickly you, bro.
No way.
Yeah, man. Go on.
I'm just an idiot, but...
Oh, you're standing in front of the thing again.
I love hearing it.
Find
it. I tweet too fucking much.
Don't worry, we'll do it in a bit, bro. We'll do it in a piece. Man's got to be somewhere for 4. It's fucking mad for me.
Apologies.
Oh well, yeah, man. I just wanted to have we got loads of time to do it, so we will. But have to have an honourable mention for you because, as you said, like as we started 10 years ago was when Poets Corner started, yeah. But just like bigger than that is what I met you like 9 years ago.
Sorry.
Don't apologise, bro. It's fucking been one of the best things, bro. Shout out to Arrow and Harry at the jump off or whatever. Gave some good memories and stuff like that, and like, you know, encouraged me as well, like on camera to, you know, you're like, you know a lot about this, like don't feel like you can't talk about that, or you're funny when you talk about that, like talk about these things or whatnot. But just going to you, yeah, you know, doing Poets Corner and then turning it into, you know, going into a football lane, yeah, and merging the two cultures together, because essentially we watch football. We watch football, innit? Like, we watch football. Our parents watch it, all of that type of shit. Like, we've grown up in it. So it's like, the way that you merged the two together and from how you started it to what's happening today is incredible. And, you know, I know that you wouldn't want to give yourself the praise for it, yeah? But I speak for pretty much everyone that is, you know, making a good wage from this, and like fans of stuff like this that's been watching for a long time, that's been looking at it, know that you and Vuj have been super instrumental in the movement in how it is today. So, bro, like, you know, like, did you see when you started doing it? Yeah, what did you start doing it with the mindset of?
To merge music and football,
and that was it. Nothing else. You just wanted to just do that and.
No, I wanted to make a world, because I said, why is it when I watch basketball matches, all these rappers are here watching the basketball and they're all good friends, but like these young footballers that are coming up, there's young musicians and like they're like the hierarchy, but we're cool and they know about us, but it's almost like a secret. It's almost like you can't really talk about this world. No. Someone needs to package it so we can talk about it. So I remember I was watching Soccer AM at the time, and they packaged it so well where musicians wanted to go on Soccer AM, so it built this sort of connection. That was the place where you might meet footballers. So I was like, where's that home or that youth club where the footballer might meet the musician just by accident, and then they just build a relationship? I said, I have to create this. It needs to be something that you can see. It needs to be tangible. So I thought of an idea which became Kibaz, Daz and Shimpaz, which Mitch thought the name of. And I wanted to do a football show for the Euros, and I wanted us to get musicians on there, and I wanted to get footballers on there, and I wanted to talk about football, but the way we speak about football. So I did that in 2012, and then Google saw it, and they were funding loads of channels to make original content, which came to Copper 90. And then they said to me, we want the show. Then they wanted just me. And they're like, who can you find to partner alongside you? And you know what the truth of the matter is? It might have highly been Mitch at the time, but because he was with Suave, I was like, the first person that came to my head was David Vianich, because we spoke about football online. And there wasn't a massive community of people speaking about football online. So I knew I had to choose carefully. I had to choose somebody that loved football. I chose Vuj. And Vuj came down. I remember it was weird. We done it. I remember said to Vuj, look, there's this chance for us to be a part of this football channel. I don't really have much information. I don't even know if it's paid. I don't know anything. And then we got the gig. And then with that, I kept speaking to Copper 90. Look, I want to make some content where we get other people in. And just the other day, I brought Mitch on the channel time ago. Big Nasty, Krept and Konan, Wretch, because I wanted to make it happen. I wanted to really, really make it happen. And now it's here. Footballers and musicians are very much in tune with each other because the content that a lot of the footballers think about, the 19 and 20-year-olds, when I started doing it, they were 12 years old. 12, 11, 13. So they've watched me encourage something and wanted to be a part of it. So when they've hit 20 years old now, it's just like, this is what they've been waiting for. They've heard, or not just me, I'm sure there's other people, but I made it a thing. I really wanted to do it. So now that it happens, I'm so happy. And I don't think everyone's really aware of how it happened. And it doesn't really matter as long as it's here. But I don't want no one to disrespect it though. I want it to just carry on going.
Sick, bro. Seriously, man. It's like, that is something to really be proud of, man. And like other personalities emerge through that as well. Like, I talk about Jump Off because I know that was a place that we met Maya. That's where I met her anyway. Yeah. Maya Jama. And I remember like, she was super young at the time. We was filming some videos and whatever. She just had a big personality, very bubbly and whatnot. And then like, she was like on camera doing bits and pieces. She should have been doing a lot more at the time, I think, as well. Yeah. But, you know, I know that you kind of helped to get her the job where she went to Brazil and she just nailed it, bro.
Because do you know what it was?
She just fucking smashed it.
I knew her skill set. I said to people, Maya is going to be the biggest thing we've ever seen from our scene. She just has the ability to chill with me and chill with other people as well that are not from our scene. And it doesn't look out of place. It's like, where do we package that? I remember this opportunity came at Copper 90. I went inside there and I begged them. I said, please, I have one female that will smash this to bits. And that time I hadn't done anything there for them to even, I was just doing what I was doing. I begged Richard Welsh. I begged him. He phoned me. He said, Paul, if you got any talent, and I was like, yeah, remember that girl I was telling you about? Yeah. We should get her in there. Bro, they made her last. This is how much it didn't. They got all of these page 3 girls and all of this stuff. I said, no, that's not the direction. You need, and then she done a show called Football Virgin. And from that, picking up, you're looking at her in a different light. She's in a more professional environment. I just wasn't comfortable with her going on stage, bringing something and people going, oh, I want to have sex with Maya Jama. Yeah. No, I don't want you to look at her like that. You need to look at this. Yeah. She's too smart. Bruv, when she got the Brazil gig, 2014, we were talking about the other day. I remember talking to a guy called Neil Stacey and I said, that's it, Maya Jama's gone.
Gone.
She's gone, trust me. The way she has executed this, the love she's getting in Brazil, the love she's getting from you lot are not from the world that we're in, but she's getting that love as well. That means she just knows how to talk to... You can put her in the Sahara Desert, fam, she'll figure it out. She's a genius. Yeah. So, I can't take too much credit for it. It's just me saying, yo, Maya, you're really good. I think you need to go over here, though, because over here, like when she done the video, and this is no disrespect to anybody that does it, she's done a music video for an artist. I went mad. Chucky, I was fuming. Because I said, her skill set, you're restricting it down to being an individual in a music video. If her skill set was somewhat just epitomizing that, then I would say you go and find the best music video to be in. But when I saw her in the video, I remember just saying, what the fuck? I spoke to her like I had known her for long enough to talk to her like that, but I was so infuriated because I was like, you don't even know what you are, do you? You don't know how special you are. You don't know how incredible you are. You don't get it. You're one of the best I've ever seen in my life. You're going to be... And when I see what she's doing right now, sometimes I don't even want to phone her. I just want to leave her. Just do your thing, man. Like, you're just gone. You're amazing. You're one of the best people in life I've ever seen.
She's a celebrity and she deserves it. Yes. No one can't come to me on the phone and diss Maya to me.
No,
They just
fam.
can't. And anytime that anyone ever has tried to do that, I've nipped that in the bud absolutely immediately.
Bro,
Because
at the early stages, if you know how many arguments I used to have with guys, and they used to think, oh, I'm like, no, this girl's like a little sister, fam. Like, why are you saying all of this shit with no proof? I had a guy tell me, yeah, I heard my fam. Don't tell me I heard anything.
I'm talking about more from a perspective of like people just not respecting the journey, or people thinking, you know what, maybe just because you have discovered her recently that you think that she hasn't put no work in and she ain't done shit. She has put hella work in. It's crazy.
My brother, 010s when 010 or 011 when we met her.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
Exactly.
Do you know how many times me and Maya, at the early stages, are sitting down, we don't have that much money. I remember in the pub and we're like, oh, fuck it, let's just get some drinks. We're drinking some beer, regular shit, my bro. Like, no one can't talk about Maya's journey. She's worked harder than most people I know.
One last thing I wanted to talk about, but we can't do it now. We'll do it again another time, but in a different context.
Can I
Dad.
I just said.
No, what did you say? I'm just recording, you know. And you're on the... Hold on 1 second. You're on the microphone right now, Dad.
Alright, you can't talk now, no?
Nah, but people can hear you right now.
Okay, just call me like later then when you're free.
Alright. Alright, Dad.
I don't want to blow you up, yeah?
Alright, go on, say that. Alright, Dad, I'll speak to you later.
Yo!
That's
Man, them cool.
Respect, aye, nice. Let's say, one love, man.
Alright, take it easy, yeah?
I love, man.
Alright, cool.
Let me say one
Call
thing,
me
Chuck.
later, yeah?
Alright,
Let me say one thing.
go on.
I thought about the last 10 years and I can say, I love looking at things and saying, you don't know what you are, you know. I can see it. I believe it. I don't give a fuck what anyone says to me, and it was you. I remember after the fourth, and shout out Ara and Harry. We don't talk now because I went absolutely mad in this podcast and I hold no feelings to the situation anymore. You done what you done. I don't believe that they didn't do it, but I hold no feelings towards them. They gave me some fantastic memories. They just done one thing that I don't like, and I communicated that very quickly because at least you know where you stand with me. But no bad feelings. You lot done a lot for me as well. They introduced me to you. I remember watching the podcast. I remember watching the thing about, and it's the way you counteracted Snips. Snips is very educated when it comes to hip hop, and I respected Snips, and I had a high level of respect for Snips because just the way he carried himself. I never really met no one like that. And I'm used to people shutting people down like that who are loud and rare. You came ice cool, and you changed the temperature in the room. I remember going home and saying, that is a skill. I don't have that skill. Man came in so smooth and changed it. And then I started paying more attention to you. And then I used to say to myself, this guy don't have a clue. Then you done the Wiley thing. And I remember I messaged you. And I remember I messaged Caroline as well. I said, this guy's sick. He knew how to get through to Wiley. No one else can. Not even a label can get through. This man got through to Wiley and got a conversation. There's something in that. And everyone was just like sort of bypassing it. I remember cracking my brain for
you
time.
messaged me as well,
like,
still.
what the fuck can I do? This doesn't make sense. He's so good, but there's nowhere for him to show that he's good. I don't get it. So I just had to stay in contact with you. And I stayed in regular contact because I felt by talking to you, I would find it. And when you said do the podcast, bruv, you could have said a cooking show. I would have done anything because I knew I was getting a bit of attention and somebody else could find out what you needed to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was this.
Yeah.
I thought through this you would find something else that is going to propel you. But essentially, cause where you are today, and I can say the past year, fam, the Vice shit. Like, bro. Then I'm watching JD. I feel like crying, fam. It's fucking lit.
Nuts.
So if that's the 10 years that we've had together, and at the start of the decade, that's what you're doing, and at the end of the decade, this is where you are, I am so happy to be your friend. Like,
Love, bro,
beyond
man.
that.
Serious, bro. Proper appreciate that, man.
'Cause I knew
Proper
it.
appreciate that. It's been mad. It's been a mad journey. It's been a mad journey.
Like,
bro.
I believed in you so... I still believe in you, obviously, but Chucky, the
There's
belief
still
I
a long
had
way to go.
was like, I know this guy is great. I just don't know how to translate it. It was very... I hate when that happens to me. It's like Damn Shack, but everyone can see it. Like, I hate when someone's great at something and there's nowhere for them to translate it. Now, obviously, we got so much, but back in the day,
Yeah, of course,
fuck,
it's
it was
very
exhausting,
different.
fam.
But
credit
yeah,
to
I
you.
did want it. Thank you, bro. Like, seriously, man. You don't understand what that does, but yeah, that's a conversation for another day, I guess. But yeah, I did want to say, like, you know, we started doing the podcasting thing. I know there was probably some people here and there that was doing it, but I feel like, you know, we made a really good impact by starting to do this, which then inspired other people to do it. And I just want to have like an honourable shout out to Taser and those like 3 shots, but from where they've actually taken the podcasting thing as well, you know, by, you know, putting on, like covering a different dynamic of things, but also, you know, doing X amount of live shows and these type of things, and like, you know what I mean? It's like
incredible,
it's,
bro.
It's crazy, man.
Because you know why I rate him?
And I really like. I've known Taser for a long time. You know?
Everyone's known Taser. No one even knows how they know him. But everyone knows
brother.
Taser. One thing I'll tell you is a very, very real.
I need to bring him back here as well.
He phoned me, Poet. I want to do a podcast. No way. What do you want to talk about? Do it at Dance. Chucky's brethren. Easy. Serious. Yeah. Who should I get on it? Oh no, you got to decide that. Phone me the next day. I think I'm ready to do the podcast. These are the things. Like he had several conversations with me, but I have it with so much people. I was like, oh bollocks, fam. Cuz what he's built.
It's nuts, man.
With the obviously Marvin Abbey, shout out Marvin Abbey.
Of course, then, man. Yeah.
Mr. Exposed, you're a bit of a naughty guy, but shout you out as well.
I've had him here actually before we filmed. I had him here. We had a good conversation actually time ago.
Very smart man.
And also like just other people that are doing it too, like the receipts and that. I like there's a few podcasts out there that I don't listen to them all, but like I see moves that people are making and stuff like that, and conversations that people are having and that. And now you look at it, and there's just so many. Like there's like a whole big podcasting scene now. Everyone's trying to start a podcast and all that type of thing. And it's nuts, man.
The only thing I can't get through to. Sorry, before I need to go. The only thing that it spins my head is, I just don't. When people are talking about me, I'm like, wow, how can I be topic of your this is weird. Like I get Wiley, I get Stormzy, I get Skepta. Why am I the subject of your conversation?
Because you're a guy.
So some podcasts.
Because you're out here, bro.
Thank you, bro. Like even if you're saying bad things, thank you. I really
bro,
like that.
Of course.
That's lit.
Of course, bro. Of course. And anyway, more time, bro. Again, when you come out of social media and all of these things, these conversations don't even really exist. That's why one thing that I like to do is I love the medicine in the candy stuff, bro. I love that we can sit here and just chat bare shit and catch bare joke and talk about gal and all of these type of things, whatever. But then I also like the conversations where we like
a bit more serious. But we gotta have a laugh though. I like the fact you come here and have a laugh. It's nice.
Oh no, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
No, just to reiterate your point. Sometimes I'm too serious and I come here. I'm like, oh, Chucky.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you gotta come in and just understand that today is just. It's not the serious day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the serious day.
I love it. Did you happen?
Yeah. Listen.
Did you happen?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened, bro. But it was sick when nothing happened. If there's obviously bare things that we missed in that, yeah, feel free to just like leave it in the comments and that, innit?
I can't wait to not read it.
Callum will see it.
Cameron will read it.
Yeah, he'll probably he'll post the most interesting ones in the group usually.
Alright, everyone, I just want to know if you heard anything. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, tell him what happened. Thanks for listening.